Have you ever been sitting quietly when your dog suddenly walks over, lifts a paw, and gently places it on you? Most people smile and think it is simply a cute habit. Some assume their dog wants food. Others believe it is just another way of asking for attention. But what if that tiny touch means something far deeper than you ever imagined? What if, in that moment, your dog is trying to tell you something so important that most owners spend their entire lives missing it? The truth is that dogs do not communicate the way humans do. They cannot explain their feelings with words. Instead, they rely on a language of small signals, subtle gestures, and silent behaviors. And among all the ways a dog can communicate, placing a paw on their owner may be one of the most meaningful. In fact, the location of that paw, the amount of pressure behind it, and even the timing of the gesture can reveal surprisingly different messages about what your dog is feeling. By the end of this video, you will never look at that paw the same way again. And stay until the end, because one particular paw behavior has almost nothing to do with attention, affection, or food. It may be the most powerful expression of trust a dog can ever give. Have you ever been sitting quietly when your dog suddenly walks over and places a paw on your arm? Most people smile and think it is simply a cute habit. After all, dogs do all kinds of funny little things every day. But what if that gentle touch is actually a message? Think about the many ways your dog could get your attention. They could bark, they could whine, they could run circles around the room or nudge your hand with their nose. Yet instead of choosing a loud or obvious signal, they slowly lift a paw and rest it on you. That choice matters. A paw touch is one of the calmest ways a dog can communicate. It is not meant to startle you. It is not meant to demand something immediately. It is a quiet attempt to connect. In many cases, your dog is saying, "Notice me." Not because they are desperate for attention, but because they trust you enough to believe that a small gesture will be seen. That trust is important. Dogs learn from experience. If they repeatedly discover that you respond to a gentle touch, they begin to understand that they do not need to bark or become excited to communicate with you. So the next time your dog places a paw on you, do not dismiss it as a random habit. Pause for a moment and pay attention. Your dog may be trying to start a conversation in the only language they have, and the most interesting part is this. Where that paw lands often changes the meaning completely. If there is one detail most dog owners never notice, it is this. Your dog is not just placing a paw on you, they are placing it somewhere specific, and that location often reveals far more than the gesture itself. When your dog rests a paw on your hand or arm, it is usually the simplest message of all. They want your attention. Maybe they want affection. Maybe they want you to look at them for a moment. It is the canine version of politely saying, "Excuse me, can I have a second of your time?" But when that paw lands on your leg, the meaning can be different. Dogs often do this when they feel uncertain or uncomfortable. A loud noise outside, a stranger visiting the house, a situation they do not fully understand. By touching your leg, they may be seeking reassurance from the person they trust most. Then there is the paw on your chest. This is far less common, and often much more personal. Your chest is close to your heartbeat, your breathing, and your natural rhythm. Many dogs seem drawn to this closeness when they are relaxed and emotionally connected to their owners. And if your dog has ever gently touched your face, pay attention. For a dog, your face contains everything they constantly study: your eyes, your expressions, and your emotions. Allowing themselves to reach that close often reflects an extraordinary level of comfort and trust. The paw may look the same every time, but where it lands can completely change what your dog is trying to say. Here is something remarkable that most dog owners never think about. The next time your dog places a paw on you, remember this. That behavior may have started long before they ever met you, long before they learned their name, long before they chased a ball, went for a walk, or slept beside your bed. It began when they were only a tiny puppy. Newborn puppies enter the world completely dependent on their mother. They cannot see. Their hearing is not fully developed. Their entire world is built around touch, warmth, and scent. And during those first weeks of life, they perform a simple action over and over again. While nursing, puppies instinctively press their paws against their mother. That gentle kneading movement helps stimulate milk flow, but it also becomes connected to something even more important: comfort, safety, and security. Every time they felt warm, protected, and cared for, that movement was part of the experience. As they grew older, they no longer needed their mother's milk. but the emotional memory remained. Many canine behavior experts believe dogs continue to associate gentle physical contact with feelings of reassurance and connection throughout their lives. That is why a quiet paw resting on your arm may sometimes mean more than a request for attention. It can be a sign of trust, a moment of comfort, a reminder that your presence helps them feel safe. In a way, your dog is returning to one of the earliest lessons they ever learned. When I am close to someone I trust, everything feels okay. And that emotional connection may be stronger than most owners could ever imagine. Have you ever had one of those days when nothing seemed wrong, yet your dog refused to leave your side? Maybe they followed you from room to room. Maybe they sat unusually close. Or perhaps they quietly placed a paw on your leg and looked up at you as if they knew something you did not. The truth is, they might have. Dogs experience the world very differently than humans. While we rely heavily on words and conscious thoughts, dogs pay attention to tiny details most of us never notice. A slight change in your breathing, a shift in your posture, the tension in your shoulders after a difficult day, even changes in your scent caused by stress. Research has shown that dogs can detect chemical changes associated with human emotions, allowing them to recognize stress and anxiety with surprising accuracy. That means your dog may notice your emotional state before you fully recognize it yourself, and when they place a paw on you during those moments, they are not always asking for something. Sometimes they are responding to something. Your dog cannot ask, "Are you okay?" They cannot tell you to slow down or take a break, but they can reach out. One gentle touch, one quiet gesture, one simple reminder that you are not alone. Many owners assume they are always the ones caring for their dogs, yet some of the most touching moments happen when the roles seem reversed. Because sometimes that paw is not a request for comfort. Sometimes it is an offer of comfort, and that may be one of the most beautiful parts of sharing your life with a dog. Imagine this scene. Your dog walks over and gently places a paw on your arm. You are busy scrolling through your phone, answering messages, or thinking about everything you still need to do today. Without looking up, you ignore it. A few moments later, the paw returns. This time it presses a little more firmly. You still do not respond. Then it happens again and again. Soon, what started as a gentle touch begins to feel persistent, maybe even annoying. Many owners make the same assumption at this point. My dog is being demanding. My dog just wants attention. My dog needs to stop. But what if that is not what is happening at all? Think about it from your dog's perspective. They started with the quietest signal they had, a calm and respectful attempt to communicate. When that signal did not work, they tried again, not because they wanted to bother you, but because the message still had not been received. Sometimes your dog may be uncomfortable. Sometimes they may feel anxious. Sometimes they may simply need reassurance. And occasionally, they may have noticed something unusual about you and are trying to respond the only way they know how. When we immediately push their paw away, we may be unintentionally teaching them a lesson. Don't try to tell me. Instead, pause for a moment. Look at them. Make eye contact. Give them a few seconds of your full attention. Very often, their body language will reveal exactly what they are trying to communicate. The dog that keeps pawing at you is not always demanding more. Sometimes they are simply trying harder to be understood. And now we come to the most remarkable paw behavior of all. Most of the time, when a dog places a paw on you, there is a reason behind it. They may want attention. They may be seeking comfort. They may be reacting to something happening around them. There is usually a message attached to the gesture, but every once in a while, something different happens. Your dog walks over, places a paw on you, and simply leaves it there. No pressure, no impatience, no attempt to get your attention, no request for food, play, or affection, just a paw resting quietly against you. At first glance, it seems insignificant, but if you pay close attention, it may be one of the most meaningful moments you will ever share with your dog. Dogs are naturally alert animals. Even while resting, they remain aware of their surroundings. Their instincts are designed to keep them prepared to react if something unexpected happens. Yet in this moment, your dog willingly relaxes. They are not preparing to run. They are not watching for danger. They are not asking for anything at all. Instead, they are choosing to remain connected to you, calm, peaceful, completely at ease. That quiet paw resting against your arm is not always a request. Sometimes it is a statement that says, "I feel safe here," a statement that says, "I trust you," a statement that says, "For this moment, I have nothing to worry about." And perhaps that is the greatest gift a dog can give another living being. Not obedience, not tricks, not even unconditional love, but complete trust. Because when a dog truly trusts you, they give you something far more valuable than their attention. They give you their sense of safety. So the next time your dog places a paw on you, don't rush past the moment. Don't assume it is just a habit. Don't automatically think they want food, attention, or a quick pat on the head. Pause for a second and pay attention. Look at where that paw landed. Notice their eyes. Observe their body language. Because behind that simple gesture may be a message you have never truly heard before. Sometimes your dog is asking for reassurance. Sometimes they are seeking comfort. Sometimes they are trying to understand the world around them. And sometimes they may simply be reminding you that you are not alone. The beautiful thing about dogs is that they spend their entire lives communicating with us. Not through words, but through countless small signals that are easy to miss if we are not paying attention. The more you learn to recognize those signals, the deeper your relationship becomes. So tell us in the comments, has your dog ever placed a paw on you in a moment you will never forget? Share your story below. We'd love to read it. And if you enjoy learning about canine psychology and the hidden meanings behind dog behavior, don't forget to subscribe and join us for the next video. Because your dog has been talking to you all along, and together we're learning how to listen.